What's going on, guys? This is a video I should have done a very long time ago, and the focus on this video is going to be talking about knife sources. Where do I get my knives? Because I've been buying knives for 2 decades now, and there's a lot of great places to buy, and there's also some crappy places to buy. So I'm going to give you my sources, and we'll hopefully kind of open the doors to some more variety. I know a lot of you guys out there who are buying knives right now, you might have 1 or 2 sources and they're just go-to websites or go-to local stores or whatever, but there's a lot of options out there. And the best thing you could possibly do as a consumer is price shop. You want to get the best price you possibly can. Now, occasionally you'll come across a site or a company that you really like and you don't mind, you know, forking over an extra $5 here and there just to support those stores. That's a whole separate thing. But if you're all about, you know, pinching pennies and getting the best price you possibly can, hopefully this video will help you out. Before I even get started, because the list I'm going to give you is going to be to online sources for knives brand new. There is nothing wrong with getting a knife secondhand. In fact, I highly encourage you guys to save money and buy your knives used on the forums, okay? Bladeforums.com, knifeforums.com, EDC forums. There's a slew of different internet knife related forums where people are, you know, conversing with each other, you know, getting ideas, talking about knives. I mean, these places usually have for sale and trade, you know, sections. So something like Blade Forums, if you want to sell your knives there, you do need a paying membership. Knifeforums.com is free across the board. But all these different places, they're going to have the option for people to sell their knives used. Now, some people won't like the idea of buying something used because you don't know if it's abused. It's a little bit, it's a little scary if you've never done trading before. I mean, you're talking about just, you know, dealing with complete strangers on the internet. And occasionally people get ripped off. It is such a small percentage though. In the knife community as a whole, there's so many good people. It's very rare to get ripped off. But there's certain precautions you can take as far as that. And I might have a separate video in the future about trading, you know, do's and don'ts, things to watch out for. So, you know, stay tuned for that video. But right now I just want to kind of give you more information as to my sources for knives. Now, what you have in front of you here is basically just a visual aid. So you're not looking at my hands or my face or the table. Some knives to look at while we're talking about knives. Now, some knives are a little bit harder to find than others. Something like a folder, you know, is pretty easy to find. A lot of online dealers usually sell folders, but not every online dealer, and especially not every store you walk into that sells knives is going to sell something like a balisong. More commonly known as the butterfly knife. Everyone knows this style of knife, whether you like it or not. It's very, you know, distinguishable and, you know, highly sought after. People like these because they're really fun. They're fun to manipulate and flip around, and it's awesome. But unfortunately, there's a lot of, you know, legal parameters you have to stay within, and they're harder to find and, you know, a little bit more risky to be purchasing and shipping and owning and stuff like that. You know, I don't want to give too much legal information. What I will say is that some online retailers will put a disclaimer on their website, which basically says, hey, we'll ship you whatever you want, but understand that by purchasing something, you are fully aware of your local, you know, and statewide laws, especially internationally. Whereas some sites, they're a little bit more strict. Like, for example, if you're buying balisongs or automatic knives at certain websites, especially directly from companies, manufacturers, like for an automatic knife, if you want to buy it, sometimes they'll say, well, you can't buy it unless you fax us over or email us over a copy of your military ID showing you're allowed to own this particular style of knife. So some people say like, oh, I can't get balisongs or I can't get automatic knives because, you know, I don't have this ID that allows me to have that. Well, how some sites get around that is that they put the disclaimer on their website, like in, you know, the About Me page or the home page or something like that. That basically covers their butt for insurance purposes and for legal purposes. So there are websites that will ship things to you wherever you are, and some sites will ship them all around the world, legal or not. I don't condone doing anything illegal, but understand that's how it works, okay? Some sites are a little looser on their policies than others. But Yeah, as far as ballast songs go, and by the way, everything I mentioned, there'll be links in the description box, okay, to all these sites. So if you want to open the description box and look at it, put these in your favorites, bookmark them, on your browsers, and shop around when you're looking for knives. So let's get started with ballast songs. Ballast songs, again, like I said, a little bit harder to find. My favorite source for cheaper ballast songs has to be bladeplay.com and knifezilla.com. Knifezilla, from what I understand, ships internationally. I'm not going to go into details on that. Some people have good experience, some people don't. You're always taking a chance buying stuff internationally. It's unfortunately just how it goes. Besides Blade Play and Knifezilla, Blade HQ also carries ballast songs. So does bladeops.com. Bud K carries cheap ballast songs. In addition to everything that I'm telling you, obviously, if you haven't checked, Amazon does carry cheap ballast songs, in some cases some more expensive ballast songs as well. There's online retailers that you wouldn't think of, like Walmart. Walmart doesn't necessarily carry ballast songs, but they do carry some of the higher end folders. What you see in their store is very different from their online store. Places like Walmart are so massive as a company that they have third-party retailers coming in, just like Amazon. Like, you may not be able to get a ballast song from Amazon, but hey, Joe Schmo Knife Shop or whatever has an Amazon account. So if you go on Amazon, type in ballast songs, you can buy it through Amazon through a third party. So that's how that works. As far as really high-end ballast songs, EDC Knives is the best source, I think, for like the really primo stuff, some of the custom or semi-custom stuff. 29 Knives brand. There's a bunch of them over there, but just, I mean, if you don't, even if you can't afford it, it's awesome to go look at that stuff and drool over it. But anyway, yeah, ballast songs can be found everywhere on the internet. You just have to look. Places like eBay, they have a policy against ballast songs for sale. Most of the stuff you'll see on eBay is trainers. In fact, same with Amazon. You will find sharp knives, but occasionally, I mean, you really have to just look at the description, make sure it doesn't say trainer, or dull, unless that's specifically what you're looking for. All right, as far as regular knives, folders, fixed blades, everything in between, big, small, there's so many different places. I'm just going to give you a list of things that I have personal experience with more than once. There's probably a dozen or more websites I've ordered from once, and although it's okay, I don't have in-depth experience with multiple purchases and multiple orders and customer service and stuff like that. So I'm just going to give you what I know. So once again, Amazon, eBay, Walmart.com, all these places. I mean, any sports shop you walk into, if you go into like a Dick's Sporting Goods store or Ramsey Outdoor in Jersey, or God, I'm trying to think of a bunch of them now. Anyway, any kind of sports store or outdoor store. I mean, Cabela's, Gander Mountain, all these places, they'll carry knives. 100% of the time, they're going to be overpriced. Whether it's $5 more than you should be paying, or $30 more, or $50 more, they're always going to be overpriced. When you walk into a brick and mortar store, they just can't compete with an online retailer because they're paying for the building, the property taxes, the bathroom, the water, all that crap is overhead. So they got to put that price into their products as well. So understand, if you walk into a store, it's great to be able to handle something, buy it, and walk out. You will pay more than online, okay? But, sometimes it's about convenience. You want to hold something, hey, it's there, boom, whatever. It's a special trip, special occasion. I've done that plenty of times. I've overpaid for knives in stores because I was on vacation and I just really wanted it, or after handling it, I wanted it in the moment. Yeah, I understand it's $20 more than I would pay online, whatever. So those are special circumstances. All right, so great sources for knives. Blade HQ, okay? Blade Ops, PVK. Now, PVK.com is a sister site to Knifezilla. It's the same owner, both those sites. And PVK has a lot of stuff that you won't see other places, like Dalton Autos, a lot of the ProTechs, a lot of Microtechs. They have a lot of the really, really awesome automatic knives, okay? High-end automatic knife stuff. Knifezilla geared towards a little bit of the cheaper stuff. PVK, definitely high-end. Besides that, Newgram Knives is an awesome knife store. I only bought from them for like 2 years straight. Great company, great family that owns it. Really good variety. Knife Center and Knife Works, both awesome companies. Now, Knife Center and Knife Works both ship internationally. I know a lot of Canadian viewers and a lot of Canadians, as well as people in Europe, who've had great experience with these companies before because they're so limited as to where they can purchase from. If you're a viewer outside the US watching this video right now, you really want to write down Knife Center and Knife Works because those are probably your best bets as far as getting stuff to you across the pond and across the way. So besides that, Knife Hog. Knife Hog is somewhat of a newer site. They have some sister sites too for other stuff. They have an archery site, a site dedicated to gun stuff, and an outdoor site. So you may see some stuff in the future. I had good experience with them, so I might try from some of their sister sites. Smoky Mountain Knife Works and Bud K are great sources for a lot of the cheaper stuff out there. If you're looking for cheaper traditional knives, you know, you don't want to really spend the money on a case or a queen, you know, or GC or whatever your thing is. You just want display pieces. Like, let's say you're really into different traditional patterns, but you know, you want to try some different things, but you're really going to keep it in a display case and you're not necessarily going to carry it and use it every day. There's no reason why you can't go cheap. If it's sitting in a display case in your room and you know, or an office or something like that, no one's really going to care of the quality. It's just a visual piece to represent maybe that type of pattern or that style of knife. Then you're talking about, you know, you go to Bud K or even more specifically, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, you could probably get, you know, one of every pattern for like $5 or $6 a piece, you know, and make a really awesome display kit. You can buy, basically, if you go to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, you can get like a $20 or $30 display case, glass case, walnut, you know, with the foam insert. Buy $5, $6 knives, you know, and for like less than $100, have a really awesome display piece of traditional knives for your office or bedroom or home or whatever. So great source. Smoky Mountain Knife Works does have some of the name brands, or you know, better name brand stuff. It will be a little bit more in some cases. In some cases, you'll get a deal. Sometimes they'll have really good deals on Kershaw's, you know, or SOG knives, stuff like that. So definitely worth checking out, though. Huge variety, and I love their Christmas catalog. The thing is like as fat as a JCPenney catalog around Christmas time. It's just an awesome thing to sit on the toilet and look at, you know, to kill some time and look at knives. Of course, you don't have to do it on the toilet. You can sit in your living room if you want. But yeah, if you catch me in the bathroom for some reason, which you won't, I'd probably be holding a Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog. So, moving on. Knife Outlet. Knife Outlet, also a good source for all kinds of knives. GP Knives is definitely up there with one of my favorites. Like I said, Newgram, GP Knives. AG Russell. AG Russell is a great source. They have all their own branded stuff, which is pretty cool. But they have some of the higher end things, and occasionally you'll find something that's cheaper too. Great catalog to get. If you're in the US, go over to AG Knives, sign up for the free catalog, and I think you'll be happy with what they're offering over there. The prices are very reasonable, and the variety is good. Cutlery Shop. That's shop, SHOPPE. It won't be a problem because I'll put a link. You can just click on it. Cutlery Shop, another good source for knives. One Stop Knife Shop is the official Blade Forums place to buy knives, and I've used them probably 50 times. Great source for knives. It does support Blade Forums, the forum. If you're obviously a member over there, it's good to support them. They're the official, you know, online store for knife stuff. Let's see, Knives Ship Free, another good source for knives online. As far as like some really high-end stuff, my favorite site has to be Knife Art, knifeart.com. God, you can just spend time there drooling over the stuff they have, even if you can never afford it. Some of the nicest custom work I've seen over at Knife Art. Love supporting them. That's where I got my first Chris Reeve Sebenza. It was a treat to myself. Great customer service there, really nice. Arizona Custom, another good source. And again, EDC Knives, those are all good sources for the really high-end stuff. So that's pretty much it. That should get you guys started. Like I said, there's plenty more websites out there, but these are the ones that I really just have a lot of experience with and just been super happy with the customer service. I've never had a problem with any of these companies. Nothing bad to say about any of these companies. Some people, there's a couple on the list, I'm not going to single them out in here, but I've heard some bad things for at least one or two of the companies. But again, you know, go on Blade Forums and look at the feedback section and see what people are saying. You know, when they're buying knives, if they're not happy with something or if they have a problem with their order, they will make it make it known on the forum. So, you know, invest some time in researching these companies and feedback from people ordering from them. But like I said, personal experience, absolutely awesome with every single company that I listed. That should give you guys enough variety to price shop and look around. You know, like I said, put these things in your favorites or write them down on a piece of paper. And if you're in the market for a new knife, you know, spend an hour looking at all these sites and seeing where you can get the best price for it, you know, the best shipping. Some of these places, I mean, like Blade Play has free shipping across the site. Obviously, a lot of the ones we know, you know, YouTube active knife sites are always doing promotional stuff and giveaways, and they do free shipping all the time too. It's just, you know, it's awesome to support good people in the knife community, but it is good to have these sources of information so you can really look around. If you're just gonna hop on Google and you want, like, you know, I don't know, Kershaw Skyline or something, and you type it in Google and Google Shopping, whatever, you say, oh, that's good, cool, 30 bucks or whatever. I'm telling you, look around. You'd be very surprised at some of the savings you're gonna get by just doing some research and some homework first. It's like anything. A good consumer spends a lot of time looking at a product before they purchase it. Of course, we all have our impulse purchases, but if you're gonna spend some money and it's gonna be significant money, you really should be researching it. So that's pretty much it. Before I go, I will say it again. Highly, highly recommend trading. I know it seems a little risky for people, but I've literally traded thousands and thousands of times in my lifetime, and I've only had 2 occasions that I can remember where I was screwed on something, but in the end, both those occasions were resolved. One time, I was doing a trade. I really don't remember the knife, but I know it was a guy in the UK, and it was someone I was talking to for a long time, entrusted in this person on the forums, and sent him a knife first for a trade, and I never got anything back, never got any word back at all. It was about 3 months later, after continuous emails and stuff, I got an apology. He said that he offered something he didn't actually have, and he ended up shipping my knife back that I sent him. It was an unfortunate situation, but it was resolved. The other one, the condition was nowhere near as good as they said. So, I mean, but out of thousands of different trades, I mean, come on, that's pretty damn good odds. The knife community as a whole is really good people. But there will always be, you know, some douchebags that try to, you know, ruin the party, but they're quickly weeded out. When someone does something wrong and wrongs someone in the knife community, word spreads like wildfire, and people know to stay away from that particular user or that particular, you know, name or address that's attached to that user. So anyway, like I said, I might do a video in the future on trading and what I do with trading, because I know a lot of people are interested in that and would like more information about it. Because you could save so much money by trying these knives. You know, you could pay half of the original price by buying it used. You know, knives are like anything else. You really don't know if you're gonna like it until it's in your hand and you're using it. I mean, how many times have you bought a product, any product in life, where you're super stoked about it, and then you get it and you're like, what a piece of crap, you know, or just not what I expected. So I can't say that enough. I can't stress that point enough. Buying used is really, really good, particularly with expensive knives. You don't have to get it brand new to get it, you know, to be happy with it. The only issue with knives is that, of course, you do have the factor of you're not going to know what that factory edge was like. When someone's used it, resharpened it, or just sends it dull to you, you'll never really know what it was like brand new. So if that really is your biggest concern, then you're just going to have to save up that money and buy them new. But I can sharpen my knives, and if you can sharpen your knives too, shouldn't be an issue. Save some money and buy used. So that's all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the lighting. I'm actually filming in a different white balance, and I'm going to do a little playing around with editing. So hopefully it's a little bit of a warmer color scheme than the last couple knife reviews. So we'll love the feedback on the quality. So hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care.